Alright, welcome to my channel. This is White Chuck. What I'm working on today is another Sargent and Greenleaf Environmental padlock. This is the smaller version. It is the 6-disc version, and it's the smaller, as in the core is smaller because it fits the same size of the Abloy Classic. It did not come with a key, so I did have to end up making a pick for it and picking it open and able to decode the discs and make a key out of a cotter pin and a brass washer. And there's kind of the bitting. It is middle tension. There's the tensioner there, or yeah, that's the tensioning disc with the actual disc that turns the core. So that is the only 0 cut or 6 cut, I guess, depends on how you look at it. So to get it picked, like any other, or not any other, but most disc detainers, I'm gonna start by turning everything clockwise as far as it'll go. Go ahead and put it in the vise here. It is still locked up, and I made tensioning tip and picking. Well, it's a random tensioner and or picking tip, because this is made from a 1mm ejector pin. The head's cut in half and shaped. Does have a little bit of a circle, semicircle, because if you look at the discs of this, there is like a little semicircle or cut out in the center of the disc for a circle. So that's how I'm able to make this picking tip. And this is the other half of the tensioner slash picking tip that is on a 1.5 stainless tube with a piece of 6mm larger tube silver soldered on. So to pick it, what I'm going to do is take the tip, both tips, and go all the way to the back. Alright, so I'm all the way to the back. It is a little bit difficult to stay on the discs. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the rear tip that's all the way in, which is on this handle, and I'm going to try to find the furthest disc toward the back and get on it. This 1mm ejector pin is very flexible, so I'm on it there and it's turned all the way right, but as you can see, I can still give that a good twist and it will turn pretty much. So now I'm going to take the other tip, find the next disc. Alright, I'll twist it all the way clockwise, make sure it's all the way, and then I'm going to try to feel for a gate. Okay, got a little bit of a felt like it dropped into something right there, so try to find the next one. Slipped off. Get back on it. And that's a lot of the trouble I'm having with getting this picked, was I kept slipping off of the discs rather often. So right now I'm slipped off both of them, so I'm gonna try to get the back one back on and see if I can get the front one back on. Alright, so I think I'm back on it there. I think I went all the way. Let's see, did I make sure? Oops, slipped off again. Okay. I'm sorry, this is usually the most time consuming, is getting back on the discs. It can be fairly difficult with a random tensioner because the picking tips both tips are fairly narrow compared to just having a single tensioner. Alright, so I've kind of lost my, let's say, I don't know which ones I've picked and haven't picked, so let me see. Okay, I'm just going to try to go all the way to the back. So there. Alright, so find the. Okay, that's kind of binding hard in that place there. We'll leave that alone. We'll move out to the next disc. Hopefully. Find out where it's at. And I slipped off again. Alright. Okay, kind of wants to stay right there, so I'm gonna leave that alone there. Okay, I feel a little click right there when it drops into, I guess, the 0 position. So I slipped off again. Alright, got back on liquid. Alright. With this lock, sometimes it's more where the discs want to stay, or you kind of, it's like they get in the gate and they don't want to come out of it. So kind of how this one picks a little compared to other disc detainers. So I'm just gonna switch my tension just for a second, see if I'm there, and I don't believe I am. So I'm gonna apply the tension back to the rear and keep checking. As closer they'll get to the gate with this lock, I've noticed everything will start actually physically clicking when you get it in the right spot. Right there, that felt like a fairly good click. So I'm still gonna leave that one there. Since I'm going back to this one, oops. See if I can get back on. Something we gave, but I don't know if did I turn the core? Nope, didn't turn the core. That time the core turned. I swear the core just turned. But yep, I'm unlocked. So there we go. Alrighty. So I have it unlocked. Let's see if we can get this a quick gut. I'll fast forward this part and until I get it all taken apart. So just real quick before I completely take this apart, I want to show you that there are 2 sidebars. This one is not active. It is just to limit the disc and keep the spacers in check. This one is the active sidebar. Alright, so everything is out of the lock. You can see that there are 6 discs and 5 spacers. These are just miniature versions from the larger one, except they don't, this one didn't have one of the wires on it to kind of push the sidebar out. I don't know if it was removed prior or if it's one's supposed to be in there. I don't know. But as you can see, maybe you can make sure you're in the frame. So there's a 1 there, and if I turn that over, this one can also be a 4. So it could be a 1 or a 4. So hopefully you can see that. 4. Like there's a 2. This is, oops. Okay. It's a 2, but it was in the lock. But if you flip it over, it can become a 3. There's a 4, just like I showed you a while ago. It could become a 1. This is the 0. But what's weird on the back of the markings is the 0. I don't know if it's supposed to be a 5 or if it's just like X'd out so they know not to flip it that way. I'm not sure. And of course, there's a 3 and a 2. But that's the inside. There's the core. And also, one other thing, like on the big one, the sides of this are symmetric. Where on this one, you've got a short side and a long side. So this does have to be put in a certain, the stack has to be put in a certain direction. So you just have to remember when you reassemble it. Best I can remember, the short side goes, when you put it in, the short side will go to the part of the shackle that's in the lock, just the longer side of the shackle. But anyway, that is the Sargent and Greenleaf 6 disc picked and gutted. All right, thanks for watching.